is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk Counties, Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. Suffolk County Police are investigating the death of a man found this morning on a street in Brentwood. Police say they got a 911 call a little after 6 this morning from a person reporting a body lying on the side of Nimitz Avenue. According to authorities, the victim had suffered a trauma wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. As of mid-afternoon today, the body hadn't yet been identified by police. The Long Island Power Authority is challenging the taxes it pays on its Northport power plant. But local officials say if the facility's assessment is lowered, it could have a devastating effect on the community. Tara Evans reports.
The smokestacks at Long Island Power Authority's Northport facility have long been a part of the landscape without a problem. But the town of Huntington recently filed a lawsuit against LIPA because of what it says is LIPA's wrongful filing of a tax certiorari with the state, which violates an agreement made in 1997 saying LIPA wouldn't.
And in that agreement, it states that there would not be any certiorari's filed unless there was an undue increase in assessment. There's been no increases in assessment.
A tax certiorari is what is commonly known as a tax grievance, which is when there's a discrepancy between the value of a property and the taxes paid on it. Town officials say LIPA is seeking a 90% decrease in the plant's taxable value, a number the town calls ridiculous.
It had been a good neighbor, but these are not the acts of a good neighbor.
Northport East Northport school officials say that signs like these are being used to raise awareness of the crippling effects that LIPA's tax grievance could have not only on residents' property taxes but on the school itself if LIPA is permitted to go forward.
If you withdraw that much money from the pot, if you will, then the rest of the community has to make up for that lost revenue, and that's why a 50% increase in taxes would be seen by all the other taxpayers in our district.
That 50% increase would devastate the community, which is why officials say they'd be willing to discuss some sort of compromise if LIPA withdrew its lawsuit.
Withdraw the suit and let us sit down and talk logically and reasonably about the plan. But certainly don't do it with this nightmare threat over the head of every resident of the town.
We called LIPA representatives for comment, but they declined. In Huntington, Tara Evans, LI News Tonight.
Officials say the fares charged by the Metropolitan Transit Authority are placing an unfair burden on some commuters. But they also argue that the MTA's problems can't be allowed to fall onto the shoulders of taxpayers. Robert Marzano reports.
Members of the New York State Senate and the MTA met recently at SUNY Old Westbury to discuss finances, policies, and practices of the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Leading the committee is Senators Carl Marcellino and Lee Zeldin, who discussed the burdens the tough economy is placing on commuters.
It's more than an inconvenience. It's a problem. It takes you, if you're making about $50,000 a year, it's going to cost you close to $5,000 just to ride the railroad and the subways.
That's a large percentage for people making less than $50,000 a year. Zeldin says the MTA ran into problems when the economy took a turn for the worse, but he says when the economy gets better, things will improve.
One of the reasons why the MTA went through the problems that they did was due to the poor economy. And as the economy rebounds, it'll be easier for the MTA as well as everyone, for the state, for families, for businesses. Everyone will have a better way at getting by once the economy improves.
The MTA still has problems to resolve, and Marcellino says it shouldn't look to the taxpayers for a solution.
We can't keep hemorrhaging money like this, and we can't keep going back to the taxpayers and asking them for more money each and every year. It's got to stop.
Senator Marcellino says that the MTA has dug itself into a deeper financial hole, a hole that the taxpayer is responsible to pay for. But in this economic uncertainty, the taxpayer can no longer afford to spend another dime. In Old Westbury, Robert Marzano, LI News Tonight.
2 men have been arrested, charged with attacking a taxi driver in Uniondale. Police say a driver for Taxi Fiesta picked up a fare on Lindenwood Street yesterday about 2:30 in the morning. When the two men got in the car, police say they began beating the driver's head with a brick, then took his money and fled. The driver got stitches at a nearby hospital. A short time later, police arrested 19-year-old Taishim Gary of Hempstead and 18-year-old Obioha Asuji of Uniondale, both on charges including robbery and possession of stolen property. And an armed man found wandering along Jones Beach State Park with tales of being adrift at sea for days in a raft has been ordered jailed. 47-year-old Pablo Perez of Flushing, Queens was charged with criminal possession of a weapon and ordered held on $10,000 cash bail yesterday. State police say a jogger encountered Perez on the boardwalk Tuesday wearing a wetsuit under his clothes. They say a loaded gun was found in a plastic bag sealed with duct tape in the suit. Perez told police his raft got separated from his fishing boat, but the U.S. Coast Guard told police it had no reports of a missing boat. It was an up day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished the day up just over 66 points. NASDAQ was up almost 18 points, and the S&P was up 6.5 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
Here, three memoir authors share their stories at Three Short Women, Three Tall Tales at the Northport Public Library on Thursday, May 19th at 7:30 p.m. For more information, call 631-261-6930. There are two freshwater fishing clinics for junior anglers at Caleb Smith State Park Preserve in Smithtown on Saturday, May 21st. One is at 9 a.m., the other at 1 p.m. To reserve a spot, call 631-265-1054. Spend a little time at home with Ginger Rogers, a theatrical tribute and high tea at the Ward Melville Heritage Organization in Stony Brook on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. and Sundays at 12:30 p.m. through June 12th. No show on Memorial Day weekend. Advance reservations are required. For more information, call 631-689-5888 or check out Spies, How Long Island Patriots Helped George Washington Win the Revolution. It's an interactive exhibit at the Three Village Historical Society in Setauket on Sundays in June from 1 till 4 p.m. For more information, call 631-751-3730. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
The school year is winding down, and graduation season usually means celebrating with friends and family, often with alcoholic beverages. So a Long Island college recently exposed students to the legal ramifications and expense of being arrested for driving while intoxicated. Elsa Gillis reports.
Every 50 minutes, one person dies in an alcohol-related car crash, according to Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And here in Nassau County, the probation department says being convicted of driving while intoxicated is considered the most serious criminal justice issue. To address this issue, CW Post in Brookville recently presented a panel discussion to help students understand the severity of driving while intoxicated.
More people are killed in DWI accidents than are murdered.
It's also the crime that most people on the planet are most likely to have committed once.
The panelists emphasize how serious of a crime DWI really is and how, if convicted, it will follow you for the rest of your life.
Now the problem is, so they have a little bit too much to drink, don't realize it, get behind the wheel, and then get arrested and get stuck in this massive system, and a lot of times with a criminal record that remains with them for the rest of their lives.
Friedman says that once convicted of DWI, not only is the process very expensive with legal, motor vehicle, and social work fees, but it will drag on for a long time.
Well, society in general is cracking down a lot more, and the cases can proceed on a first offender case. 3, 5, 10 court appearances. They have multiple programs they have to go through.
Students who attended the discussion seem to understand the importance of the issue at hand.
So I think it's so important for people to realize this, and they really need to drive safely.
It's an up-and-coming major problem in our society, and I think that we really have a lot to learn about it.
Friedman says society needs to be better educated about driving while intoxicated in order to prevent it from happening. In Brookville, Elsa Gillis, LI News Tonight.
If you're feeling lucky, you could walk away several $100s richer the next time you drop by Friendly's for a bowl of ice cream. Jody Goldberg explains.
Jen Jankowski is several $100s richer just by walking into a Friendly's restaurant because Friendly's is celebrating 40 years here on Long Island. And Jen, along with her 2-year-old son, was the winner of its first Random Acts of Friendliness $400 cash prize.
Thank you for coming to Friendly's. Congratulations.
I guess we'll start by paying for lunch, and then we'll put it in Jake's college fund for now.
And franchise owner Joe Vitrano says he plans on handing out 19 more of the surprise cash gifts over the next 4 weeks.
I'm going to walk into a restaurant, walk up to a table, ask somebody how they enjoyed their meal, and hand them $400 on the spot. $400.
Congratulations. And you don't have to be one of the winning customers to take advantage of the 40th anniversary. In fact, anyone could order off the $4 menu Monday through Thursday until May 19th. And many customers here today in Syosset say coming to Friendly's has become a family tradition.
As far back as I can remember, having ice cream with family members and loving the hot fudge on top of the sundae.
So for the next few weeks, expect to see a lot of 4s at Friendly's as it celebrates 40 years on Long Island, with $4 meals offered for the next 4 weeks. And if you're lucky, one of the $400 cash prizes. In Syosset, Jody Goldberg, LI News Tonight.
Nassau County Police are searching for a man wanted for shooting a man several times during a confrontation with another man. Police say it happened Tuesday night in Lakeview. Officials say the victim's friend pulled up in front of a location on Parkside Avenue in Lakeview, and the victim got out of the car. The suspect then reportedly walked up to the victim and began shooting, hitting the man in the car twice, once in the shoulder and again in the head. The victim was listed in stable condition at a nearby hospital. The gunman fled the scene. Suffolk County District Attorney Thomas Spoda says a Massachusetts man is accused of stealing Boston Red Sox memorabilia from Fenway Park. The suspect, identified as Jamie Holland, has been charged with criminal possession of stolen property that was taken during a burglary at the Boston ballpark. He was arrested last week, but it's not clear yet why the arrest happened here on Long Island. Investigators reportedly recovered a home plate, a first base glove, and cleats worn by a second baseman, plus other team property. Well, we had a beautiful sunny day today. The high was up around 70 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low in the low 50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high in the upper 60s. Saturday, there is a chance of a few showers, high around 60. Sunday, showers expected, high in the mid-60s. And the outlook for Monday, a chance of some scattered thunderstorms with a high around 70 degrees. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.